Pilates can actually help?
Well, actually, Pilates was anyway designed or invented by a man for men. What does Pilates do? Pilates really works the deeper muscles.
Being a nutritionist, how would you balance their, like the nutrition plan when they are playing a tournament and when they are off season?
So when they're on season, honestly, it's more about performance, like peak performance, injury prevention. So your focus is basically just getting into discipline and routine.
How would you want to add on discipline as a factor here?
Anything, whether it could be as a business person, just as a normally human being, etc. Discipline ke bina hoga nahi.
Who, according to all of you all, is the legend of the Indian cricket?
Right now,
if you go back to the earlier generation and the generation now, I think earlier the team was more of individual performances, individual heroes.
Talking about Bumrah, this just struck in my mind that जब भी वो होता है तभी भी problem हो सकता है, जब भी नहीं होता है तभी भी problem हो सकता है.
Rough hai. One thing I'll tell you, India has always been batting kind of a strong batting lineup country always. Like we always had superstars who were like always batsmen. What I liked about Bumrah is that he has kind of created a fan base.
Hello there everyone, welcome to Bat Ball or Batik, powered by Agami Realty. This is the 6th episode where we are going to be talking about the 2025 Asia Cup. We will also be talking about the cricketing battles, standout performances and the vibe of this tournament. So before we start off, let me introduce you to our lovely panel here. First, we have Rohit Patil. He is the director at Agami Realty and he's a hardcore cricket follower as well. We also have Nicole Linares Keria. She is a sports nutritionist as well as integrated health coach. And we also have Samir Purohit. He is one of the founders of the well-known Pilates studios. His daughter is also a founder of Hit Namrata Purohit and he is Head of Education in India for EMS. So let's get started with our conversation. Firstly, I want to welcome you all and I'm so happy that you all are a part of this panel.
thank you so much.
Fabulous. A pleasure.
So first, I want to, Rohit, ask you a question is that you are a hardcore cricket follower and can you just tell us how did the passion for cricket begin? Was it during your school times? How was it?
Yeah, so like everyone, every kid in Mumbai, my journey started very early. Like every Mumbai kid, I also grew up playing in building with my friends almost every day. However, the turning point was when I got selected in my school cricket team. So that was the time when I really got the perspective about what professional cricket is. It's about playing with real kit, leather ball, the strategy, the training part. And then what happened was earlier after that, it gives you about an idea of how the cricket is played. After that, I played for a couple of years and then I truly became a cricket fan. And then I started following Indian cricket, Indian players, the tours. And since then, I've been doing it even today. But what something different has happened after that is whenever I get opportunity, I go and see cricket matches live. And I think which is the best thing to enjoy the atmosphere in the stadium.
Coming to again cricketers now, Samir, you know well enough how Pilates can actually help, can be one of the factors, especially for a cricketer to improve his performance. And many cricketers are actually opting for Pilates. Can you explain the correlation between cricket and Pilates for us?
Well, actually, Pilates was anyway designed or invented by a man for men. But along the way, it got lost, and you suddenly find more women doing Pilates. But it's now that we find a lot of males also coming in, including male sports person coming in for Pilates. What does Pilates do? Pilates really works the deeper muscles. So it improves movement, improves balance, it improves control. It also improves strength. It improves strength. So it's a total workout by itself.
Okay.
And every sports person, especially now, for example, you see somebody who's a bowler. Say a left-hand bowler, a right-hand bowler, but most of the work is done only from one side. So now what about the other side? And that's where all the back problems, etc. happen. And that's why Pilates rebalances the body. And I think it's a very important cog in the wheel for all sportsmen who do various exercises, doing strength training, etc. And Pilates should be integrated in the whole scheme of things.
Right.
Will help them perform better.
Coming to, I'm excited to ask you a lot of questions because even I was a professional athlete. From an athlete's perspective, also I want to ask you a lot. But first question that I would like to ask you is that being a nutritionist, how would you balance their, like the nutrition plan when they are playing a tournament and when they are off season?
That's a very interesting question. But so yeah, for cricket especially, what happens is they have an on season and then they have an off season. So when they're on season, honestly, it's more about performance, like peak performance, injury prevention. So your focus is basically just getting into discipline and routine of making sure you have enough protein to balance your recovery. Your hydration game is on point for your electrolytes. You have fast releasing energy carbs so that they can be used instantly while they play their match. So as I said, it's more aligning all of these things. When it comes to off season, that's the time where we're talking about lean body mass building, changing your body composition, going through your blood work to see your nutritional deficiencies, just planning with your strength and conditioning coach, sitting down, chalking out the blueprint for the future and what we need to work on. So that's the time they truly have to work on themselves, even in terms of their gut restoration. Anything to do with any sort of niggles that they have, which they can correct, happens in the off-season period. And on-season, you're just like a machine.
Right. As you spoke about so many things, I'm going to come back to you here again. Cricket, it's not just a game, just a sport. वो एक spirit होता है, वो एक जज्बा होता है. And that spirit of sportsmanship, how has your outlook changed on that over the past years?
So if you ask me, I think sports teaches you a lot. And I personally believe that be it not cricket, any sport, it has a role to play in your life. So even if, if I have to go back, cricket will teach you the most fundamental lesson in your life is how to face failures, right? It will help you rebuild yourself, get on your feet and move on. So for me in life, I look at some of the popular cricket quotes which says like, it's never over till the last ball is bowled. And the second one is trust the process, results will eventually follow.
Right. But this in your personal life, has it impacted in any way? Like something that you would want to share that this personally actually hit me here?
No, so again, I mean, since I've been watching cricket for so long, I mean, it gives you an idea that, I mean, it inspires you somewhere, right? That life is all about how you look at it. I mean, because in sports, your career graph is never going to be up. It will always be ups and downs. There would be good days, bad days. Even the great master Sachin would have a inning with duck. But I mean, one inning which I still think, I mean, everyone should put it in their office or, bedroom whenever someone studies or trains, is the innings double hundred he hit in Australia when he was getting outside the off. And he said one day that come what may, I'll not play the cover drive. And he bet the entire inning on the leg side. And if anyone interested can go and check the wagon wheel. So it's like how you, I mean, put aside your ego. No matter you may be Sachin Tendulkar, but on that day, you have to respect what the conditions are and play accordingly.
Right. Coming now again to you, Samir, cricketers, they are always complaining about, back pain, lower back injuries because of the posture and all they're holding. But I'm quite sure few of them know that how Pilates can be beneficial here.
Well, yeah, I think we have had a lot of players coming to us. Maybe it's the time IPL started actually. And they have realized the benefits of Pilates, not only cricketers, but lots of sports persons also, who have come and said that I wish that when they were much younger, especially some retired sports people, that if they had done Pilates at that time, probably their career could have been a little more different, rather than spending 4 hours on the physio table or 4 hours of recovery or 5 hours of recovery. It may have been a little bit easier. So yeah, we did special. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So, Nicole, discipline, that is a big factor in whether it is Pilates or whether it's your nutrition. How important from your perspective it is that the discipline, even in terms of nutrition, has to be there?
I feel like with sport, discipline is innately present. So, I mean, you can't be a sportsman if you don't have discipline. So, when it comes to cricket, yes, there's a lot of discipline already innately present. So, makes my job a lot more easier. But also there are some athletes who don't know the importance of nutrition just in the beginning. You have to handhold them in the beginning. And once they see how nutrition affects their performance, then the discipline comes automatically. So
Wow.
yeah.
And since you also played cricketers in cricket in your
I did a bit.
past, you did play, yeah.
I did a bit.
How would you want to add on discipline as a factor here?
Well, to be honest, if you want to succeed in
Anything.
anything, whether it could be as a business person, just as a normally human being, etc., discipline ke bina hoga nahi.
Correct.
Simple. So I always say, when they talk about, for example, fitness, I say, who says fitness is tough? It's not easy. It's the discipline that's tough.
Yes.
And that's where the problem happens. If you have the discipline, you do whatever you want, you will succeed. And
You
show
show
up. Yes, and you will show up.
Rohit, as a hardcore cricket fan as well, what do you want to say from a fan's point of view as well? How important do you feel discipline plays there? And personally, how important is discipline?
I think as they mentioned, I mean, without discipline, I think it is just you dream, but you don't go out and I mean, the action is important. I mean, eventually, it is consistency which will take you far. Results, again, as I said, it's a process, and process would come with discipline.
Okay. Now, this question I am waiting to ask you because I was a professional badminton athlete, and during that time, infrastructure was lacking. From your perspective, from your point of view, how important is infrastructure to create more athletes in our country?
So, if you look at today Mumbai, right? Mumbai has decent infrastructure, strong infrastructure at school and state level tournaments, right? To identify talent at the grassroots. However, if you see, infrastructure is something we have a role to play as a developers as well, where we create spaces which are designed for kids to play. That's areas to be safe, open, accessible, and they can practice some serious sport. If the fraternity, I mean, I'm saying the developers, consciously look at this aspect as a design part, there will be a lot of people getting access to sport. And what we do at Agami is that, especially our projects which are gated community, we consciously design where there's large open space for kids to play overarm cricket, not just underarm casual games. So this is a conscious decision, and I think this is something that has to be part of every project, and it's more of an approach. Otherwise, I mean, there won't be kids won't have that space to play, and that's the starting point where creating infrastructure, and then outside infra you have always the access to good maintained school grounds, the access to turf, and the structured coaching academies.
Right. And do you think that if infrastructure is improvised in our country, can another legend be born soon?
See, Mumbai has always been the heartbeat of, cricket talent, right? I mean, from Mr. Gavaskar to Sachin Tendulkar to Rohit Sharma, the city has produced legends. But again, as a developer, we have a role to play. So what happens is that, again, it's important that at a development stage, we provide that space which is designed for kids to start picking up any sport. Unfortunately, what happens is that people look at sport with or infra largely with big stadiums. It may not be that. Initially, you need to have some access to some sport where the people are, or kids rather, get access to sport, develop curiosity, and you take it up there
And
front.
and convenience also, right?
Very-
Like otherwise you're stuck in.
Especially in city like Mumbai, you need easy access to play sports.
Since you were talking about youngsters, Nicole, I want to ask you that how important do you think is, nutrition from that age, especially?
Nutrition at that age, if you're an athlete or you're an aspiring athlete, is very important. I would focus on whole foods, stay away. I mean, it's very hard because, of course, kids want to eat. But I feel like today we are far more educated on nutrition than we were in say, our generations. We know the difference between packaged food and the harm sugar has on our body and system. So I feel like with that awareness, there's also good substitutes available in the market. So I would say, if required, use them. Try to stick to homemade meals. Understand that a child is developing anyway. So they anyway need good nutrition, and when they're an athlete, aspiring athlete, they need much, like, don't underfeed your child. Make sure he or she's eating much more, because they need those calories
Right.
to grow and to perform.
Since you're saying homemade food, I'm quite sure you must have come across athletes saying, "Aaj ek cheat meal, cheat meal." How does that happen?
I actually don't like to say the word cheat, but cheat. I don't like to say cheat.
Treat.
It's a treat, and it's a strategic planning of your meals to mentally release yourself, to celebrate, to look at it as a celebration. So I wouldn't say cheat. Of course, like they are so disciplined on at every level. If they also, what happens is that they are away from home for so long. So they, of course, you want something that feels like home, and food. There's nothing better than food, right? So there's occasional, I want to eat my ghar ka khana, and could not be the most healthiest meal, but yeah, okay, we balance it out the next day. Yeah.
Okay. Coming again back to you. You are the true pioneer of EMS. Can you please tell us what exactly EMS to those who don't know, and how does it benefit? What is it exactly?
EMS basically stands for electric muscle stimulation.
Right.
The muscle doesn't realize where the stimulus is coming, whether it's from the brain or the central nervous system to contract, or from an external source. So even if the impulse comes from an external source, the muscle will still react to the contraction. And obviously, from the brain, or from the signal that comes to the brain, is never strong enough, and hence people tend to lift weights. Right? Nothing wrong, guess it. It's a great way to train. But EMS is completely or almost joint free, without hurting the joints. The movements are much more simple, etc., etc. And hence, it gives you such a good workout in 20 minutes. Well, some of the statistics, if I may say so, in 6 to 8, no, in about 8 to 12 sessions of EMS, we would expect you to increase if it's for an athlete, your speed, your agility speed, your reaction speed, anything between 10 to 20%.
Oh, wow.
So we are doing a lot of tests ourselves, and yes, it does work. And also it increases your strength by almost 15 to 20%. That means even if, for example, you don't lift weights on particular days, so that, say, for example, you want to try it out. So you do EMS once or twice, so with a gap of about 4 days.
Okay.
EMS of in about 8 days. So you do twice, and you do strength, and don't do strength training in that period. And then take a trial again after, say, a couple of months. And you see that your strength levels are as much as they were, if not more, than when you left lifting weights. So nothing wrong. As I said, stretching is a great way to train, but you have to spend a lot of time on it sometimes. So, and now coming to sports people, EMS has been proven to be one of the only methods. Please understand, it's a 20-minute workout. So in those 20 minutes workout, there are certain programs which help you fire your fast twitch fibers at the same time as your slow twitch fibers. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little technical, but yeah, because our body consists of slow and fast twitch. Fast twitch again broke up into two, but slow and fast twitch fibers. So whenever a person starts moving or running, the first normal fibers which come are the slow twitch fibers. And then the fast twitch fibers come to increase speed, like in a 100-meter sprinter. But with EMS, if you've done EMS, the fast twitch and slow twitch pick up at the same time. That means when you start, more often than not, your start will be much faster than what you were doing earlier, because the fast twitch fibers have already fired.
Right.
So I'm sorry I'm being technical, but EMS is not that easy to understand. So the only simple thing is EMS, yes, your body will react to the contraction, simple. But what all happens beyond it is great for your endothelial function of the heart.
Right.
It's great for low back issues. It decreases body fat very quickly, visceral fat very quickly. So there are lots and lots of things that we can do with EMS.
It actually looks like a very, essential factor that any athlete would be benefited from.
It is, I don't know whether I should take names, but yeah, some of the topmost athletes on the world who have broken records, in either sprints or 400 meters, etc. They do years.
And that's an interesting fact to have.
Like the Bayern Munich team, the whole football team. But I think it's the Bayern Munich team. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's the Bayern Munich team. They all do years.
Wow.
There must be something to it.
Okay. Rohit, now I'm quite sure you must have followed the 2025 Asia Cup. What did you feel about the overall, game matches that happened?
So overall, the tournament has been quite interesting. I mean, I will say, but couple of highlights, if you ask me, for me would be Hasaranga's that one-handed catch. If people must have watched it, was quite amazing. I mean, again, it proves the athleticism. I mean, the reaction tie. And the second would be Indian young guns, Abhishek Sharma, Shubman Gill and Tilak Verma's performance against the Pakistan. It actually shows that, or it's a proof that the next generation is ready. It shows that they are ready for the big matches against the best. And that's a positive sign for us. I mean, that Indian cricket is going in the right direction.
Right. Okay. Now, Nicole, now again, another question that is pricking in my mind. If you had to design a plate, for whichever team who won in the finals, how would you design it, considering they're in UAE?
So that's what, like, right now what's happening is whenever, of course, there are a good amount of days between each match. So, of course, they want to go out and celebrate and all. But what we do is we coordinate with whatever cuisine they like to go out and enjoy. We coordinate with them. We make sure that at least the allergens are looked after, because we don't want to get, we don't want to upset stomach at this point. So there's a lot of balance that is. So you have fun, right? But have it a little bit more strategically. So then we make sure that there's enough protein for repair, but that there's also those fun carbs that you could enjoy. So, I mean, everyone's plate nutrition is different. It's not one fits all. So I can't design a plate. It depends on who I'm designing it for. But I would try to integrate some sort of culture through it, whatever cuisine they like.
How important do you feel it is for a nutritionist to understand that not a cheat meal, but a treat meal they deserve? Because many nutritionists I've seen, no, this aise hi karna hai. I had come across a nutritionist who was like, no, you will not eat this. Yehi khayegi tu roz. Considering I'm type 1 diabetic as well. So how important it is, according to you, for a nutritionist to understand that every athlete is different and a treat meal is necessary once in a while.
So I feel like here is where my health coach aspect or the switch happens.
Right.
Because I don't treat, I mean, yes, food is fuel, it is medicine, but food is also emotion. So
My God.
it's coming from yeah. So that's why I said it's not a cheat if you know, and I feel like also when it comes to athletes, they're very aware. They're aware about what reacts to their body, what doesn't. So even when they want to let loose, it's done in a very controlled and a very disciplined manner. So it is a treat, and everybody, not only them, everybody deserves to enjoy what they like to, and then make your changes. And
right. Yeah. Let's talk about injuries now. Since you said it's expected. Aisa nahi hai ki injury like that. It is expected.
It is.
But that's why, discipline, everything comes. Those are the main factors. But can Pilates be something that can be helpful to avoid injuries a little, or probably quicken the recovery or something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I always say that Pilates basically should be the basis of every exercise format that you have. It teaches you how to move. And that I think is extremely important for a sports person. Also for, the general public, nobody. But it would definitely help them. One, it's great for prehab, and it's great for rehab, for both.
Wow. Okay.
So, but the time should be, it's not like you come for one session today and you'll be fine tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. There has to be, again, consistency there.
Right.
So that's how it is. But yeah, it's a rehab and rehab both.
Right. Rohit, now I want to ask you, when you watch an athlete, he's getting injured, what's being a hardcore follower of cricket, what is the first thought that comes in your mind?
So if you ask me if it's your favorite player, right? So what happens first thing is obviously you'll miss him in action for next game. Also, what happens is it breaks the balance of the team. A lot of time team will go with the preparation of certain player playing a certain role. And also what happens with, I'm an 80s kid, so during that time, a lot of players used to get an extended career. They wouldn't be able to come back easily even if they had an injury. Unlike now, you say one match you're out, there are like at least 5 people knocking on the door. And I think that's where, as Nicole was saying, the players are very aware today of why they have to be fit, why they have to be injury free, because it is something, the stakes are so high that it is important the player is aware. And if you ask me personally, as a fan, would like the player to, like, it's about Bumrah. Like, everyone would want Bumrah to play every match, win every match for India. But then, if you're a reasonable fan, you would understand that workload management is a reality today.
Right.
Especially,
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. That's why today, if you see all of us work in synergy, and all of us work as an ecosystem. It's not, no one's overstepping because everyone has a role to offer. So every player is more mindful about that. They're very open to having this whole ecosystem that's working for them. So if you ask me in terms of not only nutrition, but in just overall health management for athletes, I mean, it's the game's changing.
Right.
And for the good.
Okay, got it. And Nicole, if you had to say that if an athlete is facing an injury because of which he's not able to play, during that time managing, everything gets difficult. What kind of, plan or what support is needed in terms of nutrition during that time when he or she is not playing?
When they're not playing, if they're nursing an injury, of course, you have to also look into the mental state of how they are. Again, athletes are not machine, they're also humans. So a lot of this factors in. So like you look into, I mean, everyone sits on the table, everyone puts on their role about what they want to do at that point of time. Your SNC coach, your rehab coach, your physiotherapist, your nutrition, everyone's working in synergy to make sure that your athlete comes back. So in terms of nutrition, of course, the focus is a lot on antioxidants. It's a lot on your protein. It's a lot on just your trace minerals, making sure everything in terms of nutrition is offered as a whole. But again, it's also in synergy with a lot of other factors that come.
Definitely. Rohit, I want to come back to you. Since you were talking about Bumrah, this just got stuck in my mind that जब भी वो होता है तभी भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, जब भी नहीं होता है तभी भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. क्या कहना है आपको?
So, I mean, if you ask me as a Bumrah fan, I mean, one thing I'll tell you, I mean, India has always been batting kind of a strong batting lineup country always, like we always had superstars who were like always batsmen. What I liked about Bumrah is that he has kind of created a fan base in the young generation where people want to bowl like Bumrah. I'll give you an example at my home. My son, who is just 7, he likes to bowl like Bumrah. Right, so that's a big thing in Virat Kohli and and the ages of Rohit Sharma's and the batters. There's a bowler who has come out and made a name for himself. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I want to ask you now. I'm quite sure you must have also followed the 2025 Asia Cup. Which was the best moment for you?
I loved Abhishek Sharma. You were pretty fearless.
It's like this generation.
Absolutely. He didn't care. He's fabulous. I love that.
But you must have seen cricket back then and right now. How do you think, what are the changes that you might have seen in terms of probably fitness, the way things are understood probably right now compared to back
Well,
then?
actually, at that time, of course, you need to be fit. But
Obviously.
the amount or the level of fitness, I don't think was anywhere near to what it is today. We had exceptions from what as he said, he 80 kid. I would say where I come from. Absolutely. So, I mean, I have seen like Vinubhai, with Vinubhai.
Right.
He was a legend himself, he Mastram, such a lovely human being, Oli Bhai, Papu Nadkarni, all those guys with who I have rubbed shoulders with as a kid. And then, of course, Madhav Bantri was there. Then you have Gavaskar. So by that time, fitness was not the thing. Now, if they're not fit, 100% they break down. More often than not. I'm not saying everybody, but it's more often.
Look at the team. Who's not fit?
Yeah, I mean, so.
And I think also the number of matches that are played are way
more, yeah. Correct. So, typically, the body has to take that beating much more at that time. So, that is where the workload is. It's unfortunate. That's what I would love to see every B player, every game.
yeah.
The rest of the Kurivo.
Yeah, recovery. Correct.
In fact, rest and recovery are the most, the most important.
Let's ignore that recovery and rest period, right?
You have to forget athletes, but we have normal people like us who won't they'll sleep for 5 hours, they'll have a hectic day, they'll still go to workout. Sure. And they expect to lose weight or they expect to run.
So they're going to get it to it. Also going to
Or the audience starts storing. You know,
Cortisol levels, so once you see
He'll go.
and recovery and all.
it's unfortunate that we think more is better.
Correct.
But at least sometimes less can be more.
Always.
Definitely. I think now last question that I want to ask you all is like a fun question. Who, according to all of you all, is the legend of the Indian cricket?
We should right now.
Right now, from back then also.
But we have had so many, like,
Yeah. 2-3 names also, it's fine.
you know, Nawab itself, Thodi. Then we have Kapil Dev, Gavaskar, Tendulkar. I mean, these are all these lenses across. I mean, you can't compare one era with another. You just must see.
One that was your favorite, you feel like, then I am truly amazed by this person, what he did in the past or in the present. Probably the journey or something.
I think it should be
We had also, it's
for me to be Sunil Gavaskar. Anytime.
okay. What did you say? Sunil?
Anytime.
For me, it'll be Virat Kohli just because he just screams discipline. So, I mean,
Definitely, yeah. What do you want to say?
Again, I mean, very difficult question to answer. But still, if you have to, so what I mean, if you go back to the earlier generation and the generation now, I think earlier the team was more of individual performances, individual heroes. So that's where you can pick one legend from the last, few decades. Unlike now, if you look at the current team, it's truly a team performance. If you look at last two Australia series, last two England, I'm talking of test series, it is completely team performance. It's not like one individual who has taken India to win the game. So what I like about the generation is that current generation is everyone truly comes together as a team. Everyone is very clear about their role and they play fearless cricket, which was, I would say, missing, especially for the earlier team when you used to travel. The away game.
But that's about to be done. Now it's
Yeah.
so much in your face.
Yeah,
So much happening,
Very true.
Then the experts come in more and more.
And in fact, what I would say it is, I would then pick a legend from the previous era because during that time when India was not the best team, with so much of challenges, one player used to come up and carry the entire team. So again, so there will be 2-3. I would say maybe if I have to shortlist, maybe Kapil Dev, Gavaskar, Sachin. But then again, I mean, if I have to pick one, I'll stay Gavaskar largely because of the kind of
Wickets and the
exactly.
helmets.
Yeah, exactly. The era was very different. The conditions were very different, and to play for that long and that many runs, I would pick him up, Mr. Gavaskar as the legend.
Nice. I would also pick MS Dhoni.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
My episode, I'll not say, you all say. MS Dhoni is also, I'm a true MS Dhoni fan as well. I think we had there was a variety of things. There was nutrition, there's infrastructure, there's Pilates, and I hope that the audience who watched it understood the perspective of all these, things in a sportsman's life. So I'm so thankful you all were a part of this panel. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Bat Ball or Bate. Honestly, I want to tell you all that the 2025 Asia Cup journey is much more than matches. It's about the fans, the emotions, and he also spoke about, various perspectives around nutrition, fitness, stress management, athlete performances, and also we had some off-field stories. We'll be super soon back with another thrilling episode. Until then, let's celebrate the sport. Let's keep supporting our men in blue. And obviously, let's keep catching up with Kiara.